Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome here to the Glory Moments on, I better check what day it is, Stu. It's day 6. The last 5 seem to have run together, welcoming Stuart Parkinson to the couch this morning.
Thank you very much, Nicholas. It's a pleasure to be here as always. Thanks for tuning in locally and around the world. As you can see, my knitting is progressing nicely. A special mention to the South African tight front zip chesties that are going on around the pool. When you watch South Africa play today, just have a look at what the coaches and their managers are wearing. They're very impressive. I'm not quite sure if they serve a practical purpose apart from just kind of wearing a very skin-tight flag, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really close contest there at the moment between, obviously, Brent Borslop's dad bod and Hendry's he gets that little pelt hanging out the front there. And Braum, the three of them, it's tough to choose who the crowd favourite is.
That's right, especially when you add one of those little tidy front zip chesties in there into the mix. Just mixing it up, just keeping it real. Where their zip is going to be placed, is it going to be halfway? Is there going to be a bit of chest hair coming out the top? It's all good.
Okay, well, that actually gives me a good segue there, Stu. So this morning I sent our competition photographer out yesterday. I know you've got a bit of a fetish for a good beard. So we've got a few beard photos here that we're just going to overlay. And if the viewers back home want to try and match the beard to the player or the coach, because we've just gone tight angle beard shots here. And then at the end of the tournament, we'll release those with a standing of where that team is finished. And that'll put to bed, are beards a myth or is it really affecting the outcomes?
Yeah, look, I mean, I must admit, there is a fair bit of leadership and inspirational ability being shown by these guys out there that have generated these amazing face raccoons. I'd personally like to see them just as a fixture in underwater hockey tournaments going forward. And I wouldn't even mind if say for example, you committed an infringement, you came up, the referee was about to sin bin you, saw your beard, and then they were like, no, that's too impressive, you can stay in the water.
Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen, Stu, but look, I'll run with you on this one as I often do. And joining us on the couch is the tournament equipment organiser, as well as one of the referees, Peter Vanderwood, and ex-Australian player. Welcome to the Glory Days.
I've heard a lot of Glory Day stories. It's been fantastic. Yeah.
And Pete's been a great tournament for the referees. They're putting in a really consistent effort. Have they had a big meeting leading into the last day of the tournament and towards the finals?
They're really fine-tuning their skills. I suppose they call them skills, but we've been given direction to keep the game flowing and not too many kick-outs if we can help it, but if you're going to do something wrong, you're going to get kicked out.
And I've had a lot of comments about the clear wall, and the players are loving the soft wall there, Pete. All the equipment seems to be holding together and has come together really well.
Yeah, no, it's been really good. I'm really pleased. The whole equipment thing's been working really well. And the referees have been going really well too. It's my umpteenth World's Games, and this time the referees seem to be getting it together, and there's no egos at play, and they're looking after the players, which is what it's all about.
Yeah, no, I actually saw the referees doing a great job yesterday. We had two young women's under-19 players actually get sidelined due to injury. We had an unfortunate puck knock to the head, but she's been cleared by the medical staff, no concussion, so she's back in the pool, Stu. So it's good to see that our new concussion policy getting used and followed kind of protocol there.
Yeah, it just goes to show that you've got to have it in place, and it's definitely relevant for underwater hockey. So great to see those girls getting the immediate care they needed and cleared live back to the comp.
Yeah, and then yesterday afternoon, sadly, one of the young Colombian players just copping a heel or a foot to the neck on the end of a long breath hold, Pete, and actually pulled out of the pool, put on the oxygen, but I believe she's all fine now. But the referee's doing a great job of holding the game up and really helping that young player out.
Yeah, I saw her come out of the pool, and it was really good to see everybody go straight there. The pool attendants and our own staff as well went straight there, and she was looked after immediately. It was really good to see that.
Yeah, and the pool staff have been really impressed with the camaraderie of all the teams. As soon as one player from any team is getting injured or needs something or anything's happening, it's actually everyone's coming out of the stands. Referees from everywhere, players from all countries, coaches from all countries, medical staff from all countries, all getting involved, which is great for the sport, Stu.
It really is. A good indicator of that was how well celebrated the Argentinian win over the Australian under-19 boys was the other day. They got clapped out of the court like absolute heroes, which they were. And then the Aussies walked past and everyone was slapping them on the back as well. So, the comp is, there's definitely a lot of good relationships being forged here at this comp, Nico.
Yeah, so we better get stuck into the games quickly. So looking at the men's under-19 division first, sitting 1 through 8, we've got GB, France, New Zealand, Colombia, South Africa, Argentina, USA, and Australia scraping in at number 8. So big day for the Australian boys here as they come up against the 5th place South Africans this morning, and then this afternoon coming up against the 7th place USA. So bit of a chance there for the Aussie guys to try and pull them up into 5th or even maybe 4th position there, Stu.
Yeah, it's going to be an important one for the Aussies. Obviously leading the charge from the bottom of the pile, and I mean, you know, they've been playing their hearts out, and they certainly will be looking to get into a better position before the final starts. So, I mean, I'm sure their opponents won't give it to them easy, and we'll definitely be watching that with some very interested eyes today, Nico.
Yeah, and look, it's a tough day in here for Argentina with the way the draw's working out. They've just got the one game today, so I really kind of need to win for them to try and stay high up in the draw. So we'll see how those young, passionate Argentinian boys go. In the under-19 women's division, looking at 1 through 7, we've got New Zealand, South Africa, Australia, Colombia, USA, GB, and then Canada going into the last day of competition. Top New Zealand clear, well on top there. It's really South Africa and Australia are actually tied on points. It's a head-to-head between them at the moment. And the young Aussie girls today playing Colombia and New Zealand, so a tough day in the pool.
Tight chesty walking past.
So it's an interesting day there in the women's under-19s, but the standings are pretty well set in. It's really only GB and the USA at the bottom of the table there who'll be able to change what's going on, and they're actually playing last game this afternoon, Stu, to try and cement that 5th and 6th position. Yeah,
really close across that whole division. Really a testament to the amazing amount of work that all these competitors from all these different countries have put in. So, you know, as this final series is about to kick off, it's still anyone's competition. So, yeah, well done to those girls.
And Pete, I don't know if you were around the pool yesterday afternoon for the Turkey-New Zealand game. That was an absolute cracker. A Turkey coming out on top there, 6-1. So they're sitting well and truly clear on the top of the under-23 men's. The middle of the under-23 men's division there, there's a few things still to be decided with one game left to go. 5th through 8, there's really any team that could win it. And today there's a couple of big games happening. Turkey versus South Africa will be an interesting one, Pete. But for me, it's the France-Colombia game, which is the 3 versus 4. The winner of that will lock down the 3rd position, which going into finals is a great advantage.
No, it's great watching those teams play, and they're so intense, both of them. It's really good to see. The hockey's been fantastic. That's about all I can say, really.
Yeah, so that'll be an interesting game to watch, that French-Colombia game. For me, that's probably the pick of the division games there today. And then looking into the under-23 women's division, Stu, this is interesting. We've got Australia, GB, and France. GB, Argentina, and France all sitting on 2. Australia sitting on 3, and Colombia sitting on 4. Now, Australia today playing South Africa. The French are playing Colombia, and GB are playing Canada. So the way I look at this is if the French win, if GB wins and Australia loses, those 3 teams will be tied. If we go then to head-to-heads to break it up, Australia beat GB, France beat Australia, GB beat France. So in a head-to-head, it goes 3 ways round in a circle. If we then go to goals against, GB and France are sitting on even goals against. So if things break down as they do, it's going to end up going to a coin toss to sort a position between France and GB on that ladder if they end up both winning today and not conceding, or conceding the same number of goals.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's hoping that we don't have to cost a toy to make that decision. But, I mean, stranger things have happened, I guess, in sport. I'm sure I'll be very, very surprised if all those statistics go that way. But I mean, I guess time will tell. Maybe that goals against for, I think, the France and Argentina will probably change. That'd probably be the one big stat that I reckon's got the most chance of changing. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so the 2 big games there, Pete. France versus Colombia, the defending world champs there coming up. The French, which are building some momentum towards the end. And then our Aussie girls up against a strong South African outfit.
Yeah, the South Africans are very strong. They're got good physiques, and they are very strong on the wall, especially the South Africans. And they do tend to also swing. They've picked up that Australian swing, and they're going across the court very well.
Yeah, they've got a lot of fast swimmers in that team. So just want to finish off with another highlight from the last couple of days. We've only got a minute left here before we have to kick out. But I want to throw some photos of the real unsung heroes of this tournament, the drink bottle holders, Stu. They're having a massive impact in, especially in the commentary booth, to what's going on. So we've got some images floating across the screen now showing, I think we've got some inflatable animals, we've got a boat, we've got a pool, and then some teams just really opting to go the budget milk crate option.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It has been copying a little bit of airtime through the commentary, but I disagree with you there, Nick. I think that it has been having more of an effect on the players than the commentary guys. Basically, Eric the inflatable elephant just leading the charge. This is his second Worlds. He's looking a little bit unhappy at the moment. I think he needs a little bit of love. Gerard the shark. Eric is a GB drink bottle gear holder, and he happily floats around the pool delivering his girls some delicious beverages. Gerard the shark is a South African under-19 ladies drink bottle and gear holder, and he also is very happy. And then you've just got the people that opt for the stolen milk crates from Woolies and Coles. So, I mean, not to mention, we've got a whole bunch of criminals in the court. They really need to get some imagination into this pool, Nick.
Yeah, I'd like to see the teams come together over the next couple of days and really finish strong with good drink bottle holders. So, Stu, thanks for joining me on the Glory Moments.
Always a pleasure, mate.
Pete, welcome to the couch. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks. I hope to get back here again.
All right, cheers, guys. Have a great day of hockey.